Yeah. One time for Israel.
Verse 15. Yeah. But it shall come to pass.
Meaning this will happen. Pay attention, James. It says it shall come to pass. Meaning it didn't happen yet. It's going to happen.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Hearken means to listen. If you won't listen to what God has to tell you, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Meaning to do all his commandments, not some, all of them, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So curses are going to happen to the children of Israel. Look on that sign. You see all those people are going through misery, heartache, getting shot in the streets and everything. It says they're going to be cursed because they don't want to listen to God's commandments. We're going to bring out a couple of commandments, and we're going to see if the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans keep them to this day. All right? Give me Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. This is one, and then we're going to bring out another one. All right? So understand this. It says if we won't observe to do all these commandments, now what's going to happen to us? Curses are going to happen to us. So if we were breaking even one of them things, curses are going to happen to us. So watch this, read.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16.
Bring it out!
And if a man entice a maid,
So if a man spits game to a woman, read.
that is not betrothed,
She's not promised to anybody, read.
and lie with her,
And you sleep with that sister, read.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
You have to make her your wife.
Right.
No ifs and buts about it. You have to understand that as men in the world, when you slept with a sister, that first sister, you being her first, what happens? She automatically clings on to you, right? She don't want you to leave. It's naturally implanted in their heads to do that.
Right.
They know they're supposed to stay with that man. But what does the man do? We bounce. We bounce. You gotta understand that. God wanted us to marry those sisters. How? Why not? Give me Leviticus 19 verse 27.
Bring it out.
What ends up happening is that if we sleep with that sister, we don't marry her, what happens? She sleeps with the next man. You go sleep with the next sister. And that ends up what? The land ends up spawning into whoredom. So watch this. Let's read that.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round.
No, let's start from 29. Let's read 29.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
So as fathers, we're not supposed to prostitute our daughters to cause them to be whores. How you do that? You let them go out late at night. You let them go to parties. You let them go clubbing. Even we have them in pants, because pants is not the doctrine of the Bible. Women are supposed to wear dresses, modest apparel, that it won't show their shapes. But now you see little girls in booty shorts. Children about 5, 6 years old in booty shorts, and that's why you see pedophiles all around our neighborhoods. Right. Watch this, read.
Lest the land fall through whoredom.
And that's where it starts. It starts from home. The father's not educating the child on what to wear, how to conduct themselves, and guess what? The land falls into whoredom. Because most likely we're going to go to a woman that's showing all of it before we go to a woman that's covering up. Because we want to hit and leave. We want to hurry up, sleep with it, and take off. And you can literally tell what type of woman she is by what she has on. You understand? So those two laws that we brought up with that you shouldn't prostitute our daughters be a whore, or us enticing a maid and then not marrying that sister. Does that run rampant in our neighborhoods? It does, right? So we have breaking God's laws. So watch this, back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and let's read verse 32. You gotta go, so you gotta look on that line, turn it around. We have a school in Pembroke Pines. We have classes 3 times a day, 7 days a week for free online. So do your research, all right? Brother Champ, right? All right, nice to meet you. Now, James, come on, man, watch this. Pay attention to this, right? So these are the curses from 15 to 68 are all curses. Now we're gonna see if that happened to us because we read them. Those commandments, we broke them. So watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32.
This is one of the curses. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So our sons and our daughters were given unto another people. Did that happen to us? When did that happen? Twice? When? Oh, so you've been studying, brother. So you've been studying. All praises. It happened to us in Egypt. Our sons and our daughters were given unto another people. And here, you know, here is also called Egypt. This is the spiritual Egypt. Right. Watch this. So watch this. It happened You remember you said it happened in Egypt, right? Yeah. Let's jump to 68 right quick, and we're going to go back to that. Because you have to understand, this is Egypt. The same similarities that Egypt had, America has it as well. Right. Our sons and our daughters were given unto another people. You can see it on this sign. Watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy.
How did we get here? On what type of boats? Were they cruise lines? Were we sipping martinis and mimosa? Yeah, we were slaves. Came on slave ships. Watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
So he's going to bring us into Egypt. Read.
Again.
So we're going to go into Egypt again. Anytime in Bible study when you was in church, did they ever say that the children of Israel went back into Egypt again? No. Because watch this. Read. Read it from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. When did anybody ever go into captivity? Because when they was in Egypt, when they were slaves, weren't they? We're going to prove it. Exodus 20 and verse 2. Watch this. In Egypt, they were slaves. So he says, I'm going to send you into Egypt again with ships. Biblically and historically, whoever went into slavery on ships? Who's us? So-called African Americans. Did the Haitian people go on ships? Are you sure about that? The same boats that took you to America, they dropped some of them off in Hispaniola and also in the West Indies. You can see that in the sun. So watch this, read.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is synonymous for the word bondage. So he brought us out of the house of bondage. In 28, in the curses, 28 and 68, read it again. He says he's going to bring you into Egypt again, meaning he's going to bring you to the house of bondage again. Get it? So he's going to bring you into the spiritual people. We're going to have the attributes of Egypt. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. Read on.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee.
Just like Moses said it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Since we got off those cargo slave ships, have we ever gone back to where we came from? You understand that, right? That is a curse to identify us to who we are. Right. Because our names are going to be changed. We were no longer going to be going by our God-given name. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the children of Israel. Right. You don't hear the Israelites anymore. What you hear is Jewish, Israelis. You never hear nobody claiming to be the Israelites according to the Bible. Right. You understand that? Nobody said that they are the Jews. They say they're Jewish. You understand that? Pertaining to me. They're not the real Jews. That's so right. Did we finish that in 68? Finish 68.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So we're going to be sold unto our enemies. Remember, the reason we got into those predicaments was because we was doing what? We were breaking God's commandments. That's the simple. So you got to understand. So what's the solution to the problem? Keeping God's commandments. That's what you must understand. So we know we were put on slave ships and sold throughout the four corners of the earth because we broke God's commandments. So to get back on his good grace is to keep them. You understand? That's to reverse the cycle. That's to pay him back. So watch this. So back to 32. So one of them was being brought on cargo slave ships. I understand you know some of this. So have you been doing any studying? Okay, let's get you 1 Corinthians chapter 11. So what you must understand, so you know you're from the children of Israel. You know you're from the tribe of Judah. So we're going to bring out some commandments so that you can live according by it. You understand? So you can live to it. So 1 Corinthians 11, let's start from verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
This is Paul speaking. Read.
Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things.
Read.
And keep the ordinances I have delivered them to you.
So he's about to give, and the ordinance is a law, it's order. So he's about to give us a law. Read.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So he's about to give us the order of everything. So the head of man is Christ. So you have man, you have Christ. Understand? Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
So you have woman, man, Christ.
And the head of Christ is God.
So can you give us that order? From what you just read, what was that order? Where's Christ at? There you go. That's the order. God, Christ, man, then woman. Understand? So let's read.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head.
So a man that's praying or prophesying, meaning if you're hearing the words of God or you're reading the Bible, having his head covered, dishonor his head. Who's over us as a man? You remember the order, right? What's the order? So Christ is over the man, right? So who we dishonor by when we hear the Bible coming out and we have our head covered? You dishonor Christ. So what you should be doing? There you go. That's how you honor. All praise. Man, hey, the angels rejoice when one man repents. That's one step of your repentance. Taking heed to the commandments and doing, making haste. Now give me Psalms 119 verse 60, and we're going to get back to that. So what you must understand is that we have God, Christ, man, and women. So when we disobey a commandment, we dishonor Christ, because that's who laid his life down for us. Because remember, God says there's no, you're not going to go to him unless you go through who? Christ. Understand? So we keep the commandments through the faith in the faith of Jesus Christ. So you got that Psalms 119 verse 60? Read. This is what you just did. Read.
Psalm 119 verse 60. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
That's right.
That's what you did. That's what you portrayed. You delayed. You didn't delay. You made haste to keep God's commandments. When people that go to Sunday church, Sunday, they'll read that. They'll just walk off. So you'll see your spirit and their spirit are not the same. Even though they're the children of God, they're the children of Israel, yet they don't want to keep his commandments.
Right.
So understand this. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 11. So a man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor Christ. So any man that's hearing this, that says they believe in Jesus Christ, they must take heed to the commandments. Let's matter of fact, give me Sirach 32 and 24 to prove that. That in believing, because if you say you love your wife, right, and you beating her every night, does that show that you really love her? No, right? So in order to show God we love him, in order to show Christ we love him, we must be doing what? Doing what he says, right? His commandments. So this is how we know you believe. Read.
Sirach chapter 32 verse 24.
Yeah.
He that believe in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
Those that believe in Jesus Christ, they take heed to the commandments. They don't give no ifs and buts. That's what the word say. That's what I'm going to do it. Precept upon precept. Always make sure you get the understanding. So back to 1 Corinthians 11. Oh, I did say what? I'm showing how you love God. And showing how you love Christ. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For everybody that's listening in order, this is how we really know if you love God and that you love Christ. This is how we know. We can see it through your attributes to how you walk. We're going to read it out the Holy Bible. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. Read.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God.
What's the topic? The love of God. Read.
That we keep his commandments.
This is how we know you love God, if you keep his commandments.
Right.
Because nobody's going to be a killer killing his brothers in the streets. Nobody's going to be a rapist raping the women in the streets. That's how we know you love God. You're not going to be lying to one another.
Right.
You're not going to be stealing from one another.
Right.
That's how we know you love God. Watch this. Read the verse above it.
1 John chapter 5 verse 2.
Read up.
By this we know that we love the children of God.
Read.
When we love God and keep his commandments.
That's right.
That's how we know they love you love your neighbor. You understand that? When you love the children of God. How we know the other nations don't love us? Because what they've been doing? They've been bombing us. Tulsa, Oklahoma. They've been shooting us. This Bible was brought to us as slavery. We've been had the Bible. But they reintroduced it to us during the times of slavery. They said, oh, we're the children of God. Oh, all servants obey your masters in all things. Yes, we're like, hold up. You have to think about this. The Bible says thou shalt not kill, right? What they were doing to us? They have nothing to do with that Bible. Psalms 50 and verse 5?
No, 20.
Yeah, 20. Psalms 50 and verse 20? Watch this. They have nothing to do with this Bible. Everything the Bible told the children of Israel to do when they portrayed to be us, he never did.
Right.
Watch this. Psalms chapter 50 and verse 20.
Yeah.
This is something that the Most High have written for us to know. Read.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 20. Thou saidest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Because what you must understand, the people that had us in slavery is our forefathers' twin brother. Those are his descendants. The so-called Edomites, the so-called white men, they are the Edomites according to the Bible.
Right.
Read on, watch this.
These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou knowest that I was also together, such an one as thyself.
So we get shot down in the streets, and they like, yeah, God ain't doing nothing to us. I guess God down for it. He's down for us getting killed out in the streets. You understand that? So he's saying, read it again, watch this.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 21. These things thou hast done, and I kept silence.
So God kept silence. So he's like, yo, man, why are we getting shot down in the street and God is not interrupted or he's intervening in us getting shot down in the street? There's a scripture for that too. Read.
Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself.
So because God ain't intervened, they thinking that God is for them. That God is actually, hey, I need you to do that. Which is true. Watch this, read.
But I will reprove thee.
So he's going to correct them for what they're doing. Read on.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And that's what you're seeing right now. We're in order. We are the men that's getting in order. That's in front of everybody. All these nations are going to see us preach until this kingdom fall. Read.
Read up. Now consider this. Ye that forget God, lest I hear you in pieces. Lest I tear you in pieces.
That's it on that. So Hosea 5 and 15. So the reason why we're getting shot down in the street is to bring us closer to God. That may sound like, wait up, we get shot down in the street to get closer to God. It's because we're stiff-necked and hard-headed people. So it's until we get shot down in the streets, until we get beaten. So we like, man, why is this going on? I need answers now. You understand? So Hosea chapter 5 and verse 15. So what you must understand is that we are the children of God, and the reason why everything is happening to us right now is to keep his commandments. Read.
Hosea chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place.
So God is going to go and return to his place. The same reason when we read in Psalms 50, why he's keeping silence. Why he's not saying nothing to while we're getting shot down in the streets. Read.
Till they acknowledge their offense.
What is God waiting for? To confess. It says until we acknowledge our offense to understand what we're doing wrong. Read.
And seek my face.
How we seek God's face? Can we physically go up to God and say, hey, what I need to do? How? Studying what? The Quran? Exactly. Studying the Holy Bible. That's how we seek God's face. Going into the Bible. Read.
And their affliction.
And your affliction. Us getting beat down, shot in the streets, cops getting away with murder on live camera. Right. And our affliction, read.
They will seek me early.
That's when we're going to seek God early. That's when we're going to go into the Bible and find out this is what's going on. We're the children of God, and we have been doing wickedness. We have been breaking his commandments, and we need to keep his commandments. That's what you must understand.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.